Hello, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And oh boy, it's been a long time coming, but tonight we are finally here to talk about Dragon. This might be one of the most hotly anticipated trailers that I remember in quite a while. The Spider Man No Way Home trailer. No Way Home, there's no place like home. Home is where the heart is. Then you get the point. Anyways, so Dragon, first of all, we'd be remiss to, I'm curious, Dragon. Did you hear about the links, and did you know about the links or any the leaks? I mean, what was your situation there?
I mean, again, pretty much with anything with this movie, I'm not trusting anything until I see it. I heard there were.
Right, right.
I heard this is my mantra with this movie in particular because they're promising everything in the moon, and I mean, half of it seems to be true. So I don't know. My trust is a little earned, but the biggie is still up in the air. Regardless, I heard about these leaks, but I didn't think it was going to bully him into releasing it, sooner rather
Oh,
than
I
later.
did. I did.
I mean, I just all
That's
I know
usually
is
how it goes.
I knew there was a lot of arbitration about what was going to go on with the trailer, that it might have been exclusive just to that con, and then the leaks happened, which then may have motivated something. That's as much as I knew about the situation. That it was possible, but it was unclear. Like, I heard potentially like they were going to like really wait till the last minute with the trailer, or they were going to possibly. I mean, I heard there were possible delays on the movie. I mean, I heard all over the place. It got spun out of control as to what was going to happen. So, I mean, they have the trailers out and it says Christmas, so they're definitely trying to aim for aim for the December 17th
I mean, that
date
was
for
definitely
sure.
a relief for sure.
Yeah, I know. It was right now. I mean, I think this is a recent. I don't know if you heard about this, Tiki. Jedi Knight's alluding to it here. Yeah, Venom. Well, he brought up Venom, which made me think about
I
it.
did
Venom.
hear about this. Yeah.
I don't. I think it's official. Venom got pushed to January of 2022. We got
Uh
the
huh.
Morbius date.
Which Dragon? That does not fill me with confidence about Venom, man.
No, 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 it doesn't. But
I
then
mean, if it
again, I
got
mean,
pushed to
they,
like summer 2022, good. Like, buckle up. I'm all for it. January, oh boy.
yeah, I mean, by the same token, though, I mean, again, with the carnage of it all, it's like they can't really just given how bad the villain was in the first Venom movie. I mean, Carnage is a major upgrade, so I mean, I think Venom's kind of locked in low to at least be like as fun as the first movie and with a better
Uh
villain. So I don't think we can really lose, but by that logic, but still, it's like, is it going to
huh.
be good? That's up in the air. You might be right about that. So
All right, so we also got Pink Pearl as well as Romello Malone in the comments. So, hey there, guys. Happy to have you on board here. Okay, so Jedi Knights, he's got like a big wish list here. I'm going to go through.
all right.
Let's see. One, an explanation for the lack of MCU counterparts is villains of the
Yes.
villains.
Basically, we're going to have a lot of villains from kind of the pre-existing movies. Are we going to have an explanation as to like what are they in the MCU or why are they lack thereof in the
Uh-huh.
MCU? Which I don't know, it might be a tall order, but we'll see.
Two, no Venom integration whatsoever. Three, no stupid retcons. Well, I don't know about that. We'll see there. That's a
Well, I
tall
mean, with the
order.
with the multiversal angle, it's unclear if
Yeah.
those are necessarily going to be retcons or just like a universe very close to what those movies are. Which basically, that's their good out of jail free cards. Like it's a universe like that's how Doc Ock's not dead, pretty much. That whole
Uh-huh.
thing.
Let's see. Make no cutesy Toby Maguire memes. Dragon, I have one callback that I really want. All right.
The dancing.
I no, I'm gonna give credit to Jenny Nicholson for this because when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, Jenny, you're genius." All right, I like that. Um, if we have like a big moment where the Spider Men all converge and come together, the Garfield and the Toby Maguire Dragon, they gotta bust out the "You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us."
Well, we do have a scene on a bridge, and a
Uh,
familiar foe from that scene is present. So, I mean, if they're gonna do it, you know,
all right, give Andrew the proper send off, Sony denied him, and make Flash Thompson actually likable. Well, that's the tallest order of them all.
yeah, I mean,
And I
he's
like Tony Revolori, I really do, but
yeah, he is again Flash Thompson. He is not. I'm afraid. Like, I cannot buy him becoming like like the Venom Flash Thompson, like the the soldier Venom thing. I can't buy that at all.
All right. Parts of the trailer, like him running through the building, showed a black suit. Yeah, we'll get that.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna, the guys, just in case you're not aware, we are going to screen share the trailer and kind of break it down like so. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Did you guys hear that Sony changed the Marvel universe to Sony Spider-Man
Yeah,
universe?
you didn't hear about this, did you?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, this is again, some of this I heard. I didn't know how much of this was official, but because it just sounds kind of dumb. But it's like, guys, why are we? I mean, it just sounds like Sony's just getting really defensive. Like, this could be a really successful movie. We want to make sure people know, where Spider-Man's mama is. Okay, we birthed him. Okay, we get the rights in this divorce.
And then, yeah, Romello will definitely go over this, but there's a lot of popular theories on the trailer. This is absolutely one of them. We'll see what happens.
All right. Okay. So you want me to do the thing now, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to make sure. Okay. Let's make sure.
Dragon, do the thing.
All right. Okay. Wish me luck, folks. It's been a while. Just gotta. Okay. It's 1 second.
Right, like Dragon said, we're gonna go kind of shot by shot through this thing, kind of dissecting it, if you will.
Okay. I think.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're good.
Okay, I guess without further ado, and I'm not going to have subtitles, folks, because subtitles do. It's like unfortunately, do not pull out the stops with the subtitles because they're like YouTube subtitles. Half the words are wrong. So.
Are you serious? That's disappointing.
Okay, well, to be fair, it's not half. It's like a quarter of the words.
Yeah, but I mean, usually Marvel's on the ball with actually writing out a subtitle track.
And I mean, every one I checked, I mean, there are like a number of the same words are wrong in the thing. It's not extensive.
All right, no big deal. No big deal.
Right. Okay, you can still see the thing, right? I had to click a little.
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Okay, we're all ready then. All right.
Yeah, so, you're good. You're good.
Here we go. All right, official teaser trails. Okay, so we have Peter and MJ.
Did you notice the graffiti?
Yes, I did. The little Ditko homage, which yeah,
very appropriate. Very appropriate. Now these two, man, I know that they're hit or miss. I know Monkey is really not a fan of these two. But I don't know. For me, it's like they might. They're kind of like right in the middle of like I don't think they're quite on the same tier of like Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. Like those two were like easily like the best part about those amazing movies. But I don't know. I think the chemistry here is a step above Toby and Kristen.
Well, that's not really a hard bar to kind of.
I know, but I know. I just think the whole like yes, my spider lord. It's adorable.
No, I really do.
Look at that smile, Dragon.
And I don't know if these two crazy kids are still together, where their relationship stands. I won't wager a guess, but the point being, there is real chemistry there. And I do like these two crazy kids together. I mean, if you ask me, is this the definitive Mary Jane? I mean, I wouldn't go that far. It's MJ, it's the whole Michelle Jones. I like this character. I don't mind this as a take on MJ. It's like, if you ask me though, like, we've seen fan films that have really kind of gave us a taste of what the honest to goodness Mary Jane might be like, but that's not quite the same.
Let's face it, Tiger, you've hit the jackpot, Mary Jane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if we've quite hit that bar verbatim. We've gotten close technically with Kirsten Dunst, but let's be honest, it's not really Mary Jane to a T.
Dragon, because she calls Peter Tiger doesn't make her Mary.
I know that's what I'm saying. So I mean, obviously, we haven't quite hit the Mary Jane jackpot ourselves, but I mean, comparatively, I think MJ here is like the closest we're going to get there so far. But let's face it, Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. That takes the cake, though. It's the best.
All right. MCU MJ is still better than Raimi MJ. Sorry, sorry, says that guy.
Agreed.
Emma Stone is still the GOAT, though. And yeah, Jedi Knight, that I agree on. I mean, I think I really am not a fan of the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but, if there's one thing Mark Webb does really well, it's romantic comedy. So, it is what it is. It was a weird choice for Spider-Man, but...
All right, so basically what's going on here is Peter and MJ, they're lightening the Spider-Man situation with all the Daily Bugle's gossip and everything. And I love Tom Holland, my guy. I think he keeps getting this movie. I think he's going to really bring it. This movie, not that he hasn't brought it before. He's been really great.
There's one scene that really annoys the piss out of
me. Well, I'm saying just overall,
the scene.
I'm pretty sure I know the scene. There's only so many.
I'm just like, oh, here we go.
But you see what I'm saying, though, right? I like right now, like with this scene, like you feel for the Parker luck that's going on
Yeah,
here. Like
yeah,
this
yeah.
poor kid, he's in a classic Spider-Man
I mean,
situation.
I'm glad that we're getting an act one of this movie that is grounded in the whole, unmasked thing.
Yes, unmasked.
All
Now,
right.
also
Really
speaking of
quick, Dragon. Hold on. We got some. Get some comments here. Do you guys think we'll see Mary Jane Watson and Gwen Stacy in the MCU? I assume you mean Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone. I know. What do you think, Dragon?
uh, Kristen Dunst probably not. Emma Stone, I I mean, a lot of
Emma
people.
Stone is the type of actress where I'm honestly kind of surprised she hasn't been cast in the MCU already.
Here's the thing. So we have a big Gwen Stacy Easter egg in this trailer.
Uh
Now,
huh.
that said, I mean, if some people have been speculating, as they were kind of hoping, we're going to get like a closure on the Andrew Garfield thing. Obviously, we can't do like a full third, movie of that. But if it takes place after the second one, then logically Gwen Stacy would be dead, which leads me inclined either way to say probably not. But then again, Doc Ock's in this, so I don't know. The rules are a little iffy. I don't know.
All right, let's see. Jedi Knight says I'm hoping for Black Cat. Now, Black Cat, I was very much on
Oh
board
yeah.
for Black Cat being in Raimi's Spider-Man 4, but of course that never came to be. So
Well,
I don't
even though
know.
T, it was not going to be full on Black Cat from the looks of things with her in four. It was just they were going to do that weird Vultures thing where it was going to be her, but she was
Oh
going to be
yeah, right. Well, I don't know, Dragon. I have like hypothetical, like I had a whole other like Raimi trilogy mapped out in my head.
I
So
mean, look, I wanted Black Cat myself as well, but again, just it's
okay,
as
so really quickly, I'm trying to go through these comments here. See, Jedi Knight says I would like to see her on the big screen as well. You guys think they will answer in No Way Home? Who was the mysterious man lurking in the shadows in the Amazing Spider-Man
well,
movies?
we know who it was. Gustav Fires. It's not really a state secret. It was just a guy, just kind of a guy who's, I believe, just working for the Osbournes, who was getting the band together. That's pretty much it. It's a mystery solved.
Right. Um. Oh no, I meant Tom Holland's own version of. Well, I mean, I don't think we're going to get a Mary Jane Watson. No, I think
No, no,
Mary.
we're sticking with MJ on that. We're
Yeah,
not gonna.
this is our Mary
Yeah,
Jane. Gwen Stacy, I don't know. I think at this point it might be a little too late, but
right.
anyways, maybe it's wishful thinking, but I honestly don't think Tom Holland will be done with the MCU like after this. I think we might get another trilogy. I don't
Well,
know.
we know
We'll
he
see.
wants to stick around. It's the question if mommy and daddy will let him.
Right. All right. Anyways, okay. On
Okay,
with the
so
show.
something to highlight here. So of course, the media presence is very omnipresent in which we
Yep.
have.
Yep.
I mean, it's a little fuzzed out at this, but we can hear and we know who it is. It's J.K. Simmons returning as the MCU's take on J. Jonah Jameson, which is
Now that's one thing, of course, because I kind of blew my mind with the end of Far From Home. That's like one of the more memorable things about Far From Home. So I'm glad we're actually getting some J. Jonah Jameson stuff.
there's something to highlight just with that and just kind of with our setting here, just the whole spot, Public Enemy number one thing. So what's so interesting to me is we're not blazing over the we're not just kind of steamrolling over the progress and kind of the big status quo shifts like we did at the end of Homecoming, for example. Really, we are. It seems like just with the whole web slinging through the city thing, which he seems to be pretty much like, okay, he's out and he's going to get MJ out of like the media storm that breaks out on the streets. It looks like it's picking up like right where that movie left off, instead of like kind of a jump to things. And what I find so interesting is that we got to have our cake and eat it too with the Civil War thing from the comics. We have to. He was able to be in Civil War, and we have like Spider-Man unmasked in the world, which is not going swimmingly for him.
Right, right. Honestly, Dragon, this storyline in this movie weirdly is kind of like it's kind of like a weird mix of Civil War and of all things One More Day.
Well, it's back when we were speculating what the next one was going to be, and once we found out Doctor Strange was going to be partying this, I did speculate I thought it was gonna be like a I thought it was gonna be like a one and done gag. I thought it was gonna be like in One More Day. He asked Doctor Strange for help and Doctor Strange shoots him down. I thought that's what we were gonna do, where Doctor Strange had like a tongue in cheek line where
Uh-huh.
it's like, hey, uh, trust me, you don't want to do that. and basically say, yeah, folks, we didn't like that story either, but my God, we entertained it here. That really kind of got me. It's like, okay, so that's literally how we're doing it. Okay.
Right, right.
So yeah, so basically tying it into the the multiverse of madness of it all, which was a very interesting thing. It seems like again, best case scenario, we legitimize one more day with this movie, or
Mhm.
do a legitimized version of, much like we did with Civil War, which is not a great story, an iconic story, but we kind of plussed it in the MCU, which there's hope.
Right, everything I know about Civil War, kind of points to I haven't read it, but it kind of points to, like, it's a good ending, good beginning, kind of rough middle.
I mean, it's about right. I mean, it kind of varies on the opinions of the ending, but I mean, it mainly the middle does kind of taint it. I mean, it's not a bad story. It's just not great.
Mhm.
Again, it's a phenomenal concept, but the problem is Tony Stark is too much of the bad guy in that story. Like the idea that he employed bad guys as his army against Cap and his resistance. That's the problem. Like Tony, that's how you like two mustache twirl. We need a likable Iron Man. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So again, as we can see here, Peter's in hot water, which again, I love that Mysterio left him high and dry, and again, basically the Parker luck times 10 in the situation of he's outed. Well, there was the drones. It wasn't me. Yeah, who had the drones connected to his magic sunglasses? Oh wait,
Right, right.
yeah. All right, this thing we really got to talk about.
Okay, yeah, this is like this
Okay.
got so much speculation. I'm just like like when I first saw the trailer, I didn't even consider it, but like now I'm just like, oh yeah, I gotta admit, Drag, the more and more I look at it, it looks like his profile.
I mean, Tiki, I want to be optimistic. I really do. It just seems I know. So we cropped out the head, and here's the thing. I want to say this is our wish for folks who have been following along. We are dying for Matt Murdock to be in this movie so desperately. I mean, it's like the one bit of egg on Kevin Feige's face is how he's kind of disowned the shows pre Disney Plus. It's the only egg on the man's face. He's done
Uh-huh.
so much good stuff, but to disown the Netflix Daredevil is like the most just ridiculous mistake I can fathom. I don't even want to get into it too heavy there, but my point is, it's just such a great show that just measured up to the MCU, and they honestly topped their lineup in the year it came out. If you think about it,
I mean, we literally don't need like anyone else but
Charlie
Charlie
Cox.
Cox, Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio, Wilson Fisk.
Which
That's
the
all I
word
want.
is, I mean, the way people are hoping it turns out is okay. We get Matt Murdock in this movie, and in the Hawkeye show, we get the Kingpin.
That's what I'm hoping.
That is what the hope is for. And again, I
But what do
trust
you think,
nothing.
Dragon? Are those Charlie Cox's arm hairs?
Okay, here's the thing. So again, the fact that we don't see the head, this is it's a 50-50 shot. Okay, one, because of this mug here, detective, kind of a detective thing, slapping the files there. But then again, why would Peter Parker be able to read all these files? Implication,
That's
lawyer.
what I've heard people theorizing, and especially the look on Peter's face, like the wishful thinking part of me thinks that he has like a "why are you helping me" look on his face.
Yes, which of course, as we've seen with Jessica Jones and the Defenders, is typically the when you have like a surprise crossover of superheroes with Matt Murdock defending them, that's usually the elicited response. Now, two things that make me doubt that it is Matt Murdock. I want it to be, mind you, desperately. That's all we need. We just need him to be the lawyer, which makes perfect sense and would get him out of Dodge, at least in the legal sense, which I love that he's not just on the hook in the legal sense. There is an aftermath beyond that. Like, again, he has to go to high school still, which floored me. Like, oh my God, he's still in high school after this. Because again, I was thinking like Fugitive on the Run, which clearly, if he has a lawyer, not going to be the case.
Uh-huh.
So Matt Murdock, every time we've ever seen him, even fighting a whole gauntlet of people in a prison, man, as a lawyer, never without his jacket. Never has.
Oh, yeah.
He is
Yeah.
never. Now, yeah, that could be the MCU is trying to shake that up, mind you. And the other thing, this is going to be a really weird one to describe, but this is not necessarily a flattering angle of our character here. If he is in fact that character, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you don't know how Charlie Cox has been keeping care of himself.
I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying if we're literally trying to make an ID on the guy here, it's like I don't know.
All right, guys. So before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's go through the comments here. Let's see. Romello kind of expressing his. Yeah, Romello. I got to. I'm not the biggest fan of the Spider-Man home movies either. I like Far From Home a little bit better than Homecoming, but
And I really enjoy Homecoming, so
let's see. So, what Muppet could play Spider-Man? My initial gut reaction is Gonzo, but he's kind of like the easy answer for all the superheroes. So, I don't know.
Gonzo would be a great Green Goblin.
Yeah. What do you think, Dragon?
Well, I mean, part of me wants to say Robin.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Robin. Maybe Walter, but probably Robin.
So I don't.
Oh, Rizzo the Rat might actually be a really good Spider-Man, though. Rizzo the Rat might be good.
I don't necessarily think the Russos have that definitive of a style, and I would like to see Spider-Man movies done with directors with more definitive styles. I know that's an unpopular opinion.
Right, and really much frame of reference for the question, but sure.
What do you think, Dragon?
I don't know what the question was, Stevie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget you can't see it.
Yeah,
oh,
I can't
God,
see. I'm flying blind here.
Okay, would you guys like to see Joe and Anthony Russo direct an MCU solo Spider-Man movie?
Honestly, for Spider-Man, no. Not.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
need to
with
see
you.
the Russos. I wouldn't be against it, but I don't need to see it. They would not.
I just don't really think. Like I said, I think Spider-Man kind of like it's not really their kind of sensibilities.
Let me say this with the Russos, okay? The only thing I would want, honestly, at this point, the only thing I want to see the Russos possibly come back for, and it sounds like we've kind of accidentally confirmed it recently. Secret Wars. If we do, that's the thing they said they come back for it. They have a lot of passion for that story. That's the only thing I'd want to see them come back for, is because they have like a real attachment to it.
Sure. That guy says, "I'm hoping it's Mr. Daredevil. I just don't think it is."
I know. I think because again, it could be. It's kind of a detective thing, but if it's a lawyer, it has to be Matt Murdock. It has to be. Otherwise, it would be so. Come on, we have the perfect angle for him.
Jedi Knight has a really on point comment. Daredevil made us understand what it is like for normal people in the MCU, something we desperately need right now in Phase 4. That's very on point, Jedi Knight. Absolutely agree.
Yep. Very street level. That's the charm of Daredevil. Also,
that guy says the MCU is really going crazy in Phase 4. Matt Murdock without a jacket?
Right. I know. I'm just saying, like, he literally fought a whole prison without losing the jacket. It's like, how does Woody not lose his hat in the first Toy Story movie? You know, you need, it's like.
Okay, so Dragon, let's get back on track. That's all the comments for now.
Sure. Okay, so we're again, we're trying to see how glass half full we can make the situation. That's what MJ's kind of looking at here. Of like, you don't have to lie to anybody anymore. You don't have to hide who you are. And
by the way, did you notice blonde Flash Thompson?
Oh wait, blonde. Oh, that was.
Go back.
Okay, the further.
I didn't notice it either until Andre from Black Nerd Comedy pointed it out.
All right, hold on. Okay.
Not that shot. The next shot.
Okay, next shot. Oh, I see it.
Yeah, right see him.
Okay, so the funny part of that is that Flash Thompson, traditionally blonde,
is blonde.
Well. So blonde
to me, this is almost like just more Tony Revolori just being like, look, I'm Flash Thompson, right?
I mean, actually, I'm trying to think. Sometimes Flash Thompson's blonde, very occasionally redhead, but yeah, blonde is traditional. I think comic-wise, I think it's blonde in the comics. I mean, Spectacular Spider-Man had a blonde Flash Thompson. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. So anyway.
So I don't know. I just think it's funny. It's just like, all right, guys, you're a little too late in terms of Jedi Knight says likable Flash confirmed. I don't know about that.
I mean, honestly, this is going to be the big determination for if there's any salvaging Flash Thompson, because now the secret's out. So now
is he going to be on Peter's side or not?
Well, clearly he is, because he's a fan of Spider-Man. He loves Spider-Man.
Actually, Dragon, I'm really glad you bring that up. Actually, because you're right, we could get some interesting stuff with him.
Yeah, I mean, this is the big determining factor. If we don't fix him here, then it is truly like a lost cause with Flash Thompson. I mean, not that I had any faith in it up to this point, but it's like, yeah, it's going to be completely. I mean, if they screw this up, because this is the big moment where Flash Thompson's in on the secret and he actually has to confront, like, oh my god, like my somewhat, my in quotes friend is actually my hero. So that's what I'm saying. So right now, what I love, again, we're giving Spider-Man real world problems that he's been outed. It doesn't go over like an
And
I Am
that's
Iron Man.
exactly like Spider-Man and real world problems, I think, is what the MCU has been missing like since he was introduced, honestly. So
And as we kind of set up in the trailer, I mean, with his secret being out again, it's a worry for the other people on the hook for like conspiracy and everything, like Ned and Aunt May. They're in some hot water right now. And this is the shot that kind of gobsmacked me right here. That oh my god, despite all this, he's still going to high school, but now the secret's out and he's got to deal with that. And it's like it's kind of a real world thing in the age where no
you
one can
notice
hide
Betty
from
Brant
anything.
on the TV as well, so it's like even the school's reporting on it.
Yeah, but it's a very real
Like,
world update.
I would not survive high school in the age of today's social media. I just wouldn't.
But that's the thing. It's a great update. Is it for an idea for Spider-Man? It's a really good update if the secret got out and he's still trying to have a
Sure,
normal
sure.
life. That's what I'm saying. Act one looks like it's going to be wonderful for this film. Act one has like all the intrigue in Act one, and then it's going to ideally get better
Um,
from there.
Mel Malone says, "I hope Aunt May gets to do more in this movie." Yeah, Melo, don't hold your breath on that.
Well, now Tiki, since you bring that up, I want to talk about something that's been speculated with this shot right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a theory. I don't put a lot of stock in it, given the police lights in the background of this scene. It just makes me think it's just in general they're watching the news and so on. But people speculate that if this is after the multiverse thing, and some people think somebody's coming through the door who's being surprising. This might be Uncle Ben from a multiverse who was alive,
Oh man.
which basically would be basically our MCU. But let's just say, fingers crossed, Hank Azaria. It's never going to happen. But let's just say Hank Azaria
Never
walks
gonna
through the door.
happen. No.
It's my casting for what the MCU Uncle Ben should have been. But seriously, though, Tiki, something does occur to me.
Is Cliff?
If
This is a stupid question, but is Cliff Robertson even still alive?
well, no, Tiki's not.
Oh,
And again,
that's a shame.
well, even so, he still would have been dead in the other universe. Though I mean, Doc Ock's one thing, but Uncle Ben, that's I don't know. In those movies, in those film
No, you're right.
series,
That would have been a major, like, okay, pump
yeah,
the
it's like
brakes.
yeah. I mean, it's nice that we did kind of tribute Cliff Robinson in Spider Verse. That was nice, but
Right, right, yeah.
regardless, yeah. So the interesting thing about this movie, because the big thing people are speculating with, and I like to think, I don't know, I'm inclined to think it's going to happen at this point, being foolishly optimistic with this movie. With just all they're promising so much that we are going to get our three Spider-Men. That it's going to be Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland. I'm kind of on the board. I'm kind of on board of thinking that's going to happen. If that happens, Tiki, if we get those Spider-Men, we have to talk about Uncle Ben. There's no way around it. If those three Spider-Men are in
Oh, it'll
this
drive me
movie,
crazy if we don't. It'll drive me
see,
crazy.
that's the thing. I'm
I
gonna
think the cardinal sin that this trilogy has committed so far is the fact that we're pretending that Uncle Ben apparently doesn't exist.
That's the thing. This movie, if we that's the contingent. That's the contingent I have to. Sorry, that's the thing I have to make very contingent about this. If we get all three Spider-Men, there is no way, as we saw in Spider-Verse, you get all these Spider-Men together. At least one scene, they got to talk about the Uncle Bens.
Mhm.
At least one scene, and he's got to learn from these Spider-Men, or at least commiserate with them. How do you not bring that up? So it's going to be insane if they don't
All right.
mention that here.
So let's see. Casey asks, has there been any cast confirmation on Uncle Ben? Absolutely
Never.
not, Casey.
They haven't even said the name yet.
Yeah,
So,
exactly, exactly.
I
Which
mean, there's been
that,
an
like I said,
intimate.
that really bothers
Let me
me.
tell you, here's the confirmation we've had about Uncle Ben. Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
Uh, BFP on a suitcase.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's been it. We have the initials of Ben. I think it's Ben
They didn't even
Franklin.
really dwell on it either.
Nope. I mean, some people have kind of overanalyzed that. He brought the baggage and now he's without the baggage at the end of the trip. Ergo, he's kind
Uh-huh.
of. But it's not really much. That, and I think
Okay, this is a good question from Jedi Knight. What supporting characters would you want back from the other two series? I would want Webb, Flash Thompson, and Raimi. Oh, Raimi Kurt Connors, abso-fucking-lutely, dude. Give it to me.
there is
Give it to
again
me.
there is a shot in here that we will get
I
to.
know, I
A
know.
lot of people are speculating about, and I mean, if we're gonna do it,
Um, let's see. Honestly, Flash Thompson wouldn't be bad because I think he is definitely one of the like he didn't have a very big role, but he was one of the best things about the Mark Webb movies. Like I
yes,
thought he was really well handled.
Yes, I mean absolutely. He was the best Flash Thompson we had in any of the movies, unequivocally. He's the one that I could buy as like traditional Flash Thompson, has layers to him, and also could be the military, the soldier Venom Flash Thompson.
Other than that, I'll throw out a wild card and say the pizza guy.
I mean, Mister was it Mister Aziz?
Yeah, go.
Well, he's still around. He's still doing that. He's on. I told you that. I don't know if I told you this. He's on the show Evil with Mike Coulter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the reason why he comes to mind, is because the actor kind of pops up from time to time.
Yeah, and also, he was on a series of Unfortunate Events, if I recall. Yeah.
Or God, I feel bad for blanking on the character's name, but what about the landlord?
Oh, you mean Mr. Dickovich?
Dickovich, yeah.
How do you
yeah.
blank? That name's literally Ditko. Okay, it's like, yeah, that'd be great. I don't know how much of that's going to I don't know if he'd be really like an action setting with the blending of the multiverse. That's the thing. I don't know. What's Mr. Dickovich doing that's going to kind of bring him into from one universe?
I know.
I mean, I'd love to see him.
But
I think the scene we have to have are two J. Jonah Jamesons interacting. I think that's
Casey
what
Casey says, I fear this movie's going to be too packed with people and plot lines.
Well,
yeah, that's the big fear, Casey. Absolutely.
Well, so far, based on the trailer, I think they've assuaded that fear in me based on the teaser, because it seems like we're focusing just on 3 universes, mainly the movies. And so far, we have not seen like the overcrowding characters. We just seen ones that are going after Spider-Man, which would be consistent with a Sinister Six. So far, it's been pretty streamlined, straightforward.
All right. Jedi Knight says, you'll get your role when you fix this damn door.
Okay, so perhaps we should talk about Herr Doctor.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so Doctor Strange. First off, I love that. And here's the thing. I've been avoiding Funkos like crazy, but sometimes you catch a glimpse of them. I saw this like kind of this schlubby looking Doctor Strange, and the answer has been presented here that okay, he's bundled up because it's really cold in the Sanctum Sanctorum. And I love the idea that there's always some weird, wacky shenanigans going on inside the Sanctum Sanctorum, and it's like, oh, it's just snowing now for reasons. Doctor Strange is kind of adapting to it. I think that's just delightful, and of course, famously in Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, they've interacted a bunch. They have like kind of fun, fun meetings, and obviously big, the whole one more day of it all. So it's great to pair these two together. Honestly, out of the 3 that we've gotten so far, I know and Nick Fury and Spider naturally have been kind of paired together, but we didn't do a whole lot with it in Far From Home. But
this feels natural. This feels more natural than the other 2, I think.
Yeah, I mean, on the page, the other 2 work extremely well. I'm not saying I don't like them either. I'm just saying that this one.
I'm not a Spider-Man Jr. fan.
I think you said Spider-Man Jr.
Oh, I'm sorry, Iron Man Jr.
Yeah, which again, I would say we're not quite there. I think this movie is making a good case for we're ending that possibly, but that's a theory I got. So let me lay something out. So I think based on this teaser, I'm thinking, this is the story. Sorry, this basically may be, our way of. Sorry, I'm just trying to. I think Act 1 of this movie is going to be, it's going to be Peter Parker at a low, which is going to lead us to the one more day kind of gone wrong. We're going to use like, okay, I wish no one knew I was Spider-Man, which then is going to get complicated and lead us to an Act 2, which is going to be our multiverse shenanigans and Spider-Verse-esque craziness. And Act 3, which I think is basically the moral of the movie, will transpire where Spider-Man, after all the struggle that he's going to face in this movie, and just in general, like how could it get any worse for this poor kid? I think we're going to do Spider-Man No More by way of one more day. I think that's kind of my thesis. I think we're going to put him through all this struggle and basically this lesson of no shortcuts. You can't just magic your problems away. I think that's how we're going to like bring him to a low of lows, and then he's going to be inspired by seeing all the other Spider-Man, all their trials and tribulations. That's going to get him out of his funk somehow. That's what I think might happen.
Okay, so a couple comments here. Let's see.
Does that make any sense? Or
yeah. So yeah, we'll get into the Sinister Six of it all, guys. Let's see. Romello asked, "Do you guys think Doctor Strange should have had a sequel before the 2 Avengers movies?" Honestly, no, just because I really feel like Infinity War was like a really, really great like level up for Strange as a character. And now I think like there's a reason, like even outside of the multiverse stuff, that we're all stoked for Doctor Strange too. I think even before we knew it was Multiverse of Madness, I really think that Strange's stock like really rose with Infinity War. What do you think,
Yeah,
Dragon?
Doctor Strange has been kind of the best crossover character in the MCU so far. It's just every time he
Yeah, I
pops up,
think so.
again, it's kind of like the opposite with Captain Marvel, where it's like every time he shows up, things get better. It's like in Ragnarok, and that's the thing. We've given him enough sequel material before his actual sequel, and again, honestly, we've been using like all these other MCU projects as kind of like a bridge to his sequel. So we've built up. He's been on everyone's mind. I think we've been handling Doctor Strange tremendously well without giving a second movie, which after the first Doctor Strange movie, I never in a million years would have called, but it's worked wonders for him. And that's how you want Doctor Strange to be. Again, in a Marvel universe that is very much like the comics, that you turn down the street, there's Sanctum Sanctorum, and I assume there will be the Baxter Building, and there's Avengers Tower. It's like
Yeah, totally.
they live in the same neighborhoods, Brooklyn, Queens. They're going to interact, and Doctor Strange being like the town doctor of the MCU, that makes great sense.
All right, so let's see. That guy says, I think I'm more pro MCU. More pro MCU Spider-Man than Tiki and a few other people on the chat. But yeah, the two big sins are no Uncle Ben mention and too much Tony Stark stuff. Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. I would say for me, a big issue for me besides that is just kind of like a general lack of pathos, just in general. But I feel like that kind of feeds into the Uncle Ben thing. Let's see. That guy. Do we really need the Uncle Ben storyline again? Could understand the tone. Casey, it's interesting. Here's the thing. I don't like. We certainly don't need to see like the story again. Like the great. We don't need to see the the wrestling match and the whole like, hey, you could have stopped him, kid. Like, no, we don't need to see that. But I think I think the core ideas and philosophies that Uncle Ben imparts onto Spider-Man as a character are like pivotal, like to his growth and development. So I just like, it bothers me that hasn't been in the background. I absolutely don't think we need like a flashback to the moment or anything, but I do think it bothers me that there's no subtext.
Yeah, we just need to acknowledge Uncle Ben. We don't necessarily. I mean, look, I mean a quick glimpse of like when he was alive. I'm not saying we need to do the death story. I mean, we know what happens. We just need like to see like this a reverence, like a flashback or something. I mean, ideally we would see a flashback with like a Hank Azaria.
I honestly don't even like. I think it might even like. I don't really think we need a flashback.
Well, I know. I'm just saying we bare minimum we need a mention. I'm just saying though, like a flashback to like not the origin, but like pre-origin. Like just to see the humanity.
Sure.
Mattered,
yeah.
But in general, you're right. Though we just need a mention. Honestly, just be broadening to that. It's just we shouldn't be afraid of the hallmarks of Spider-Man because it's been done before. I'm not saying we need to do it again, but just like Uncle Ben, and more important, like it's with great power comes great responsibility. Which I mean, I know we've it's felt, it's there. I mean, we kind of know what the character. It's just we don't be afraid of saying that's one of the best lines in comic books ever. It's I don't think we should be afraid of our iconography. I don't mind how we've approached it, but just I hate the fact that we're afraid of some of these things. So you'll notice Wong here is walking into the Shang-Chi movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is hysterical. Now, okay, here's something I'm iffy on. There's the one thing I'm not opposed to, but I'm not sure how I feel about it.
About Strange. Honestly, Dragon, I feel like this fits his characterization more than people are giving it credit for, in my opinion.
I mean,
Strange has always been kind of a bit of a wild card when it comes to the sorcery.
Well, that's the thing, Tiki. So, on one hand, Doctor Strange, he.
You know what's stupid though? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I need to get it out here. You know what's stupid?
What?
There's a freaking stupid theory. Can you guess what it is involving the identity of this Doctor Strange?
Oh yeah, some people are thinking the very pro messing with things Doctor Strange is Mephisto, right?
Yes, I love it.
Which basically would be the way of saying
meme is just the gift that keeps on giving.
Now, to be fair, Tiki, compared to all the other memes, I mean, literally,
this one might actually be legit.
I mean, also just the fact that Mephisto literally is in One More Day, which the whole didn't know who I was literally, and the whole like the risk of like erasing the relationship of Peter Parker and MJ. That is very much One More Day. So I can't fault him for the Mysterio.
No, I'm not faulting them. I just think it's funny that we've got into a point in Phase 4 where, honestly, like as much as it's kind of a meme, I do think there's at least some level of validity for each of the theories, like on some level.
Yeah, well, I mean, particularly like Falcon Winter Soldier, that was a buy. I mean, let's be honest. But
Remind me what the Falcon Winter said. It was the Taskmaster, right?
That well, no, it was the Power Broker, Tiki.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting my mediocre MCU villains mixed up. I'm sorry.
You're thinking of the lady reveal. The lady reveal is just going to continue.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like the fourth time we do
so
it.
People were was speculating that Mephisto was the Power Broker, which I think that was the one joke one out of the 4. But
yeah, which I did. Yeah,
but honestly, I could see him being behind WandaVision, and I could see him being behind the TVA. So.
Yeah, honestly, no, I dispelled that after the first episode with that. But I mean, there was a bit though, where like the devil, stained glass. But anyway,
okay. Really quick, Dragon. That guy says, "Here's my hope. I think there's a real possibility of them using the other 2 Spider-Men to really give them more pathos and mention Ben." That's what you're talking about. I totally agree.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm throwing out, like, if we do that, then logically Uncle Ben would enter the fray and helping establish the pathos and stuff. Not to be like the dominating thing of the conversation, but it'd be an olive branch.
Okay, let's see. Jedi Knight says Raimi, best Peter Parker, villains and Aunt May, plus Uncle Ben. Webb, best Spider-Man, Flash Thompson, a love interest, MCU, best balance between Peter and Spider-Man, actually joins the Avengers. Yeah, I would sign off on all
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah, I'd sign off on that too.
Yeah. All right.
So, with the Doctor Strange thing, so I was iffy on this, and I'm not opposed to it, but it feeds into what you're saying, Tiki, is that, Doctor Strange, especially what we've established between Infinity War and just the first movie, is that there was an ego with Doctor Strange, there's a cockiness. He was the idea is he was really good at being a sorcerer supreme. He was a fast learner, and that he thinks, I can totally handle this. I worked the time for many years. Time, space, manipulation. This is a cakewalk, and I love the idea that he took I think he's taken a genuine liking to Spider-Man. After Infinity War, because remember, he does owe Spider-Man. Spider-Man saved his bacon with the whole alien gambit. Remember the whole, you shoot the, you remember he saved him from from the maw.
Right.
So that's the thing. I just think he's just taking a genuine liking to the kid, which really charms me to no end. And the whole beyond that, we kind of glazed over the whole I think you're beyond. We saved the universe to you. I think we're beyond you calling me sir. Well, Steven, it's a little weird, but I'll allow it.
That reminds me of this is a stupid Harry Potter poll, but just go with me on it. Some people in the comments might appreciate this. So Lupin is my favorite Harry Potter character, and there's one moment in Deathly Hallows Part 1, or Deathly Hallows, not Part 1, just the book, which I'm very bitter was not in the movie, by the way, where Lupin comes to the group, and he wants their help. He wants to help them, and he's like an ex-professor of theirs. And at this point, it's like they're all like so much on the same level that it's like, they're just kind of calling him Remus and not Lupin. And I don't know, just them calling him Remus and not Lupin, that always stuck with me. That little moment. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Right. So
that's the pathos version of this.
Sure. Also, I just want to highlight too. I think it's just such a darn charming moment though, where it's like, oh sure, Wong, yeah, we won't do that. And this winks like, yeah, we're okay, kid. It's adorable.
And I killed the multiverse too.
Oh god. So
by the way, Dragon. By the way, big news. California Adventure, Oogie Boogie Bash, Agatha Harkness meet and greet.
Nice.
Yeah.
So she's going to be in like the
going, and I'm jealous.
So you think she's going to be in the full get up, like
I hope so. I hope so.
So I noticed something about this spell on the rewatch, or the multiple rewatches because of the trailer. So you'll notice the number of rings. You'll get this. It's easier to keep track when they're smaller, but roughly you can see 3 rings, which again, I'm taking to be our 3 movie universes, roughly. At least 3 versions of our movie universes. And here, of course, we're seeing these big close-up, flashy shots. This is what we saw at the top of the Loki finale. This is like the timeline, basically the multiverse. thing where you can see all those multiple times. And this is what I'm saying. When he see right there, when he pairs it down, there's like 1, 2, 3 lines which I'm convinced are
Sure.
Raimi, Webb, and MCU
All right.
timelines that are combining. Basically, overall, I'm saying that we're sampling what Multiverse of Madness is going to be with Act 2 and probably Act 3 of the Spider-Man movie. That's what I'm summarizing from a lot of this. Is that we're getting a taste of Multiverse of
Sure,
Madness
sure.
with this movie.
Okay, so really quick, that guy says, I just need them to do Mephisto already just to end the meme.
Which I'm convinced by the time we do Multiverse of Madness, we're probably gonna, however, we're going to explain what happened to the kids. We got to do Mephisto.
Okay, let's see. The WandaVision one was the one I genuinely thought was Mephisto.
Yeah.
Let's see. One More Day, erasing Peter being married to Mary Jane was to me a bad story for Spider-Man
Yeah.
comics. It was to
It
just about
was no
everyone. Oh,
question.
oh, you're
The
not
hope is
alone.
that they might do it better here, which they had done before
Yeah.
with other things. So
Let's see. And that guy says, I think Benedict's portrayal of Strange is underrated. And
yeah,
I mean, he's
I think
great.
people like him though. I mean, no one's.
Yeah.
I've never really heard any complaints
Yeah, I
about
don't
him.
really think he's
I don't know.
underrated, but I
I don't
mean,
know. Yeah, he's great though.
he is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mephisto be a part of Doctor Doom's backstory. Dragon, you would probably know more about that than I would.
Well, I mean, the whole thing with Doctor Doom's backstory traditionally, mind you, I mean, is it's been kind of changed over the years slightly, but essentially, his magic ties lie with his mother. His mother was a Ledvirian gypsy, if I recall. So she was magic, it was just like blamed for witchcraft and stuff, and that's why Doctor Doom had an interest in magic, and he tried to the reason he got like the scar, whether it be a giant like icky scar or what I prefer, little tiny scar that his vanity makes him put on a giant iron mask for, because like I'm scarred.
Yeah. That is a cool concept.
I
Yeah.
always like to think that that's really what's under that mask. But the point being, anyway, so the reason he got that mask was he was trying to talk to his mother like on a ghostly plane, basically using technology to kind of use magic. So that I mean that a lot of people point like Agatha to Doctor Doom because of that. But looking at Mephisto, though, I mean, I don't know if like the first Doctor Doom story should be Doctor Doom making a deal with the devil. I don't know, but I'm not opposed to that. So I mean, if you're going to do a magic tie, that would be an interesting way to introduce Mephisto. But I'm still convinced we're going to do it with the whole Wanda looking for her kids. That's when we're actually going to get Mephisto. That's what I think. If we're going to do Mephisto at all, that's how we're going to do it.
Okay.
Oh, but you know what though? Blade, that'd be a perfect place to do Mephisto.
Yeah, Blade is honestly where I'm expecting to see
Yeah.
Mephisto, to tell you the truth.
I just kind of came up in the moment there. Yeah, why don't we put him in Blade? He would fit. So, Tiki, I want to get your opinion on something. This is the big, possibly divisive thing of the trailer. The spell gone wrong. I mean, I assume this is the moment you were talking about earlier, right? Like
I
the
hate it.
moment.
Dragon, this is the one thing where it's like, okay, like, this is what bothers me about Tom Holland Spider-Man, Dragon. It's like, generally speaking, I like the kid, right? Like, I'm not trying to poo-poo his Spider-Man. Like, I really do think he does a good job with it. I really think it's the writing in some spots where it's like, man, I just think, Dragon, after Infinity War, after Endgame, like, you think the kid would be smarter than this. You think he'd have thought it through. I don't know. Like, first of all, like I said,
he was
it's
fine
just,
in Endgame. Come on, he was fine in Endgame.
No. I'm saying he was fine in Endgame. I'm saying he learned a lot in the Infinity Saga. I'm saying he should be past making mistakes like this.
And then Far From Home, right?
Yeah, in Far From Home, I don't even think he was really doing anything that dumb.
Right.
I mean, there were a couple mistakes, to be sure. But
I mean, look, I'll defend the movie. Just the drone scene on the bus is
the drone scene is the one I'm thinking of.
The drone scene is the dumbest scene in that movie.
But Dragon, this to me is like almost like another kind of like attempt at that same sort of humor that they were kind of getting at with the drone scene. It's just like, oh, to be fair, he was barely. Yeah, that's fair. That guy, he was barely in Endgame, but
yeah, I mean, he was good in Infinity War though. So I mean, that was more Spider. But yeah, some slathering of Spider-Man between those two movies.
So I don't know, man. This whole beat just, I don't think it works for where we are in the characterization. And it also just bothers me just because it feels pretty damn repetitive as far as just like, goofy Tom Holland.
Here's where I am on it, okay? Not 100% because I need more context for this scene before I just judge it as what it appears to be, where it's just like Spider-Man, like a comedy of errors leads to this very egregious moment that happens. It's like I like to think, honestly, Tiki, a part of me would like to think the pathos is going to be hitting the action movie when we do this scene, but I can't, I wouldn't bet a lot on that though. I don't know. I like to think there's going to be, because here's the thing, just presented as is, it's the idea that Spider-Man, just like the idea of Peter Parker gets really chatty during this very critical spell where our big magic guy is going to need a lot of concentration. That's a Deadpool move. Like that's like Deadpool would do. He would chat up Doctor Strange about a bunch of stupid stuff, and then it would go haywire. Not Spider-Man. That said, on one hand, the dilemma here is why I really cried foul. But then I thought about it, where it's okay. So Spider-Man's is like, so no one's going to remember who Spider-Man is, which that's a win. Okay, you won. That's exactly what you want. No muss, no
Dragon,
fuss, no
he
deal
should
with the
really
devil.
just think like, okay, like after this is over, I'm gonna sit down
Mhm.
MJ and Ned and Aunt May and just have a conversation, and
Yes.
that's something I'm gonna have to live with. It's
Mhm.
better than what's going on now.
Yes. Now, T-Guy, hear that. That was my thought, but then something occurred to me. It occurred to me that, on the other hand, you lose the genuine relationship with MJ, and by that I mean it's a manipulation of we were an item, or you're knowing something that she doesn't. Can you replicate the
So
same
it really is
traits?
a one more day thing. It really is.
I mean, yes, but a little bit more of it's less like I'm going to do what I want to save my very ancient aunt
Right, right,
from
right.
finally dying. It was the problem is in the book it was far more selfish and
I
like
love the emphasis on that. The not just ancient, the very
it's
ancient.
a fact that they killed off Aunt May once in the comics and they brought her back for some reason. It's just during that was all during the clone BS and everything. It's a whole thing. But the point being, it's just the fact of it's just the fact that that book was just a very selfish choice of like everyone's just telling, "I'm sorry, Peter, we can't help you. I mean, if we could, we would, but it's just you're gonna have to learn to let go." It's like, no, you don't have to let go.
Uh-huh.
And it's like not like we youthened her up when we reset things. Like it's still gonna happen, Peter. I mean, it sucks. I'm sorry. I mean, she didn't get shot this time, but I mean, essentially, it's anyways, you're going to trade your marriage for the woman you love for a woman who's eventually going to pass. I mean, it's not a good choice at all. And you would think about what you're doing to Mary Jane. In this case, this seems to be a more thought. What I'm hoping they're going to hit with this, and that kind of gets across here, but a little too comedic, is like, oh no, I mean, everyone else. I mean, here's what I'm saying. When he says, and Ned, he's my best friend, Aunt May. When he said those two, that's when he lost the sympathy of like, just tell them. But
Yeah, with Aunt
MJ,
May, that's when I like with MJ, I totally get it. I really
MJ's a
do.
legitimized version of One
If
More
they would have
Day.
just stuck to MJ, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, like I get that.
There is an ethical question with MJ here of like
Right,
if I just tell
right.
her and if I might be debatably manipulating a relationship, which is not
But
right.
Ned and Aunt May, I feel like in the grand scheme of things are relatively easy conversations to have.
Yeah, that's easy. That's insane. That's easy as pie. And the fact that those
Yeah.
continual interruptions then caused all this crazy.
Mhm,
That's what
mhm.
bothers me.
Now,
That
to
doesn't
be
make
fair, Dragon, I want to point something out. We don't necessarily know that it's the interruptions that cause the thing to go wrong.
sure.
Like,
You're right.
I
And
just want
for
to
all we
like we
know, it's
don't really
Loki's
know the
doing.
context.
For all we know, it could be because as we establish here, the multiverse is an unknown entity because again, it was it was kind of an unknown entity, and that Doctor Strange he took a lot from just a peek at the 14 million outcomes. Yeah, I was more looking at the future than necessarily a multiverse. It's more looking at kind of the creations of what ifs, That's kind
Yeah.
of what we looked at, like the possibilities, the probabilities of it. In this case, it was what I think is probably going to happen as our crossover appeal is that he's doing this spell that he's very certain he has control over, and but here's what he didn't consider: all the different branching realities, thanks to kind of Loki and his doings. That is maybe complicated. If we hit that, maybe I think that could fix things. But I might kind
Uh-huh.
of make things an easier sell. But again, we're missing some data here. We don't want to be fooled by editing, kids.
All right.
All right, let's see. So again, things go wrong, and it seems like for a moment I thought, oh, they're going to be separated, and then we're going to have to do a reunion thing. But it seems like they're going to be kind of united from this point forward, which is something we have not had with the other two movies, where they're actually going to be like a team up movie. Which,
Which I appreciate.
yeah. Also, we're doing kind of our Inception kind of mirror verse Doctor Strange effects here.
This honestly, like for me, I thought that the effects in Doctor Strange were a little bit like, all right, it's kind of like Inception light, but go back to the folding
Oh,
city.
sure. Yeah.
This is honestly like Inception on steroids, though. That folding city with the in the center with, I don't know, like that's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
That right there.
Oh god. And if you look there, it's like I think there's one city, there's another city. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
like the long New York or if it's like literally like the New York from one Sony film to another. Okay, so this shot here,
Sand and electricity. I wonder what that could be.
well, the
Mhm.
sand, I don't know if the sand's a given. I'd like to think that is the Sandman, but I know for a fact we got well,
If it's the Sandman Dragon, then we gotta address the Sinister Six of it all.
sure. Well, regardless, I mean, it's probably Elektra. I think we know that. I'm just questioning if, like, is Elektra just like causing damage that is kind of creating a lot of dust, or is that sand? That's the thing I'm wondering. But yeah, regardless, uh, just given the other villains that we established that we are in fact doing with our Sinister Six build here, the yellow lightning bolts on Elektra makes me think if we get Jamie Foxx, I think we're going to put him in not the full on yellow and green outfit with the silly costume, the silly head with the lightning bolts on it, but I think we're going to put him in a yellow and green outfit, which would be awesome.
That would be cool for sure.
At least like a legitimized version of it. Like I don't know if we're going to give him like the full on like multiple lightning bolt face mask, but it's this really I recognize this instantly. That is absolutely the train from Spider-Man 2. That's awesome.
Oh, you think for sure?
I'm Tiki. I'd be if you look at it. I mean, if you did a side by side comparison, I think you'll see a lot of similarities. I'm pretty sure that
Oh,
is like
that's
the
really
train.
cool.
Yep. See
Of
that
course,
whole.
where is it though? That's the question.
I know, we're in like a Grand Canyon somewhere. I mean, it's like, yeah,
So yeah, I mean, just all this stuff is great, and it really is like it's not aping Inception; it's going kind of beyond Inception, in my opinion, with the visuals.
yeah. And also, we have Doctor Strange calling out Peter Parker and the whole. Like, you got to pick a. Maybe you should accept that you are one entity, and kind of like Tony Stark at the Iron Man thing. You are this. Maybe the dual identity has not served you well, but then again, it is causing a lot of damage, which is kind of the debate of the movie. Like, do we get back to status quo or not? I mean, there's a world, a what if multiverse, if you will. there's there's a possibility we end this movie two ways as far as I see it at this juncture. Either given the Sony situation of it all, which no idea how it's going to go going forward, but let's just say for argument's sake, whether we have the rights to Tom Holland or not, or we want to just change things, given the whole No Way Home title, Miles Morales could be swapped in for Peter Parker, who just can't exist, assuming we can't, erase all the minds. Basically get
Mhm.
everyone to forget that he is Spider-Man. Other hand, just given the one more day of it all, I'm inclined to think that we earn a reset, but there is a consequence to that reset that he'll be aware of. Like we won't just like make it completely like, I'm fine. Even I forgot about that, which is pretty much how the book goes, where it's like he knows a reset's happened, and I'm not going to go this far, but if people really desperately want this, I'm sorry, now I realize this will never happen. Like if you want like a traditional Mary Jane, a reset and small changes, like per like a post multiverse of madness and just like switching reality and stuff. That's how you can get some of your traditional Spider-Man stuff, like a pre-established Sinister Six in that world. But I don't know if I go too far with that. But either an earned reset or we swap him out with Miles Morales. That's how I think this movie's going to end.
Ooh, a Miles Morales swap that'd be
And
interesting.
that Peter Parker cannot go home. Ergo, we pull a Miles Morales. He's
Sure.
the new Spider-Man. At the very least, I'm convinced we're going to introduce that kid one way or another in this movie. Has been 5 years. He could just already be in the MCU and aged up. Also, there's a MacGuffin. I'm assuming he's going to get into a scuffle, trying to get the spell fixed or something with this little box. It's always a box. Pandora's box, one could argue.
Yeah, we got Simeon John. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your last name, Simeon. Spider-Man will probably have a small fight with Doctor Strange. This probably looks like it might be it.
Little tiff, and again, I'm sure it's going to be over this box being key to like you Spider-Man thinking he's going to get what he wants, and Doctor Strange saying,
The thing I'm looking forward to though with Multiverse of Madness, I've been dying for the Doctor Strange versus Loki battle.
"That's going to be great." Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What would Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield wish for from Strange? Well, with Toby, because I'm going to throw some shade here, because the Raimi movies actually have Uncle Ben at the center of them, I would say Toby would probably wish for Uncle Ben, wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
I would believe that. Yes, those
And Andrew
Garfield Spider
Garfield, I think, most likely Gwen
Gwen.
Stacy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's very on the money, Tiki. That's exactly what they would.
So
I mean, the only other thing Andrew Garfield could probably ask for would be, the Andrew Garfield Peter Parker asked for maybe that his parents didn't, like for his parents possibly.
I wish that the mystery involving my parents was more compelling.
Well, I wish for parents so no one had to die.
Simon Simeon says, I wish that my movie never sucked.
God.
All right.
Also, seriously, this is a sweet money shot though, where he knocks him in the astral form.
It
That's
is, yeah.
that's really cool. Just want to shout that out. Okay, so
That guy
this
says, I think it'll end with MJ forgetting that Peter is Spider-Man, maybe even forgetting that about Peter as a whole. Now, like they were like barely friends at the start of Homecoming, right?
well, let's see. Yeah, they were just like she had been watching them, but they weren't really. That's the thing. They weren't really romantically linked. She just kind of took an interest in them, and
So I mean,
she
I think it might end like maybe like that, where it's like they're kind of just like
they were friends though. I mean, she was around every time he and Ned were conspiring, so she was kind of there on the outset. It wasn't like deep friendship, but she was
uh
always there, and they were kind of like she was sardonically friendly to him.
oh god, plot twist. Every Marvel made thing on film is semi-canon in the MCU after Doctor Strange 2.
Well, I mean,
we're honestly, as far as rights go, we're not like, I don't think there's anything really holding us back from that,
Sony's
right?
the only holdout technically, but I mean, even that's. I mean, technically we can possibly have everything. I mean,
Yeah,
we have Fox, which was the big holdout, which means
we
we can do
do.
all of space.
I want to
And
say I want to see Nick Cage Ghost Rider, man. He is on the top of my list for like a multiverse crossover. I think seeing Nick Cage Ghost Rider would be
let me
crazy.
put it this way to you: if we do Mephisto, I think we could get Nick Cage Ghost Rider. I think it's possible.
Let's see. Simeon says I like the fact that the multiverse is broken now, and did he think it can happen?
Yep.
Indeed. Okay.
This is the question of again if it's going to be before. I'm convinced it's going to be after Loki. I think that's probably where we're at, given us the. But then
We
again,
need
everything's.
some sort of tie in to what's going on with Loki, right?
Yeah, I mean that's. I'm
I
saying I
mean,
think
maybe
Loki.
Miss. I've heard speculation that maybe Miss Minutes is going to pop up for a little bit of an exposition dump. Maybe that'd be great.
Yeah, so here you got to remember. So what we're working with right now in terms of our road to the multiverse of madness right now is we have a Nexus being with the Scarlet Witches, and she can create timelines with her being able to change reality. So that's the Scarlet Witch. And you have the branching timelines that we've set up with Loki. It's pretty much the genie is out of the bottle for now. We did not have a multiverse to worry about. Now the multiversal war is on the horizon, and Doctor Strange is now. I like to think has brought it to the fore. He's brought it to our doorstep, at least given us a taste of it with what's going on with Spider-Man. He's basically he brought it to us, which now is going to be on. I think now he's going to be aware of it because of what happens with Spider-Man, which then is like, how did this happen? Then he's going, oh my God, Loki, what did you do? Loki,
Loki.
Loki. So I think they're arresting Happy Hogan here. I think it's what's happening because he was conspired with Spider-Man and trying like there's drone attack. What happened? We're arresting you for the Lion King. Ah.
Shade.
We love what you did with the Mandalorian, but that won't excuse the Lion King.
I agree. I agree.
You made empty money.
All right.
Okay, so here's the big speculated shot right here. Okay, so I wish I could clear it up, folks, and I've looked all over the place. There are a couple theories about who. There's one predominant theory that I'd say could be up to 3 characters, who this character in darkness is. Like a little tendril, and you hear a roar.
Uh-huh.
So the logical thing is that's the lizard. Now, most likely not the. I mean, just to entertain the possibility, it could be the Amazing Spider-Man version. But let's face it, we want
It'd be
Dylan Baker.
really fucking lame if it was, though.
I mean, look, I want it to be Dylan Baker, given all the hours he put into that character, and it would be like the cheering, like fan fulfillment of like he got to do it in the end, yay! And Dylan Baker, he's still been tearing up on the action scene. He's remarkable in Hunters. He's great in Hunters.
Uh-huh.
The opening scene of Hunters is all him, and he's just so chillingly good in that scene.
Ooh.
So yeah, so Dylan Baker, he's still got it, kids. Now, for my first thought when I saw this was it was going to be like a Venom Carnage tie-in. Just given
Uh-huh.
that tendril and the roar of it all. But again, I wasn't thinking lizard because it's not really an illuminated shot. Now, just given the tendril of it all would not make sense with the roar. We did set up the scorpion and building a Sinister Six. Now, I wonder if the scorpion will make his appearance with the tail in this movie.
Hmm.
So there's that. I mean, we still have like the vulture, scorpion, and the shockers kind of like in waiting. So if we do a Sinister Six, we have the rest of our members. There's our Electro Shot, potential Sandman bout. A lot of people saying perhaps the Sandman is coming to Spider-Man's defense because he is the Spider-Man 3 Sandman.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
Then we have the big, oh boy, the big 1-2 punch at the end here. So a lot of people got really excited here. This is the one I was skeptical of all the announcements, but Defoe Green Goblin, that is the very same pumpkin bomb, and we heard the
Yeah,
cackle.
there's no way it's not. I mean, come
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
that's Defoe, all right. And he's been really
Yeah,
cagey
Dragon, what
about
do you
it too.
think? Are we going to see a redesign here?
I will be shocked if they just keep the same Green Goblin helmet. I'm going to be shocked if they don't alter it somehow.
I think it would be funny if it was just exactly the same outfit.
If they, well, I
I
think they're
saw
going
the
to.
outfit in person at Planet Hollywood at Disney Springs, by the way. Not
Wait,
too.
really? They had
Yeah,
the
yeah,
outfit?
yeah.
Oh, why haven't you told me this before?
And the Toby Spider-Man outfit too.
That's cool.
They were both in the lobby. I didn't like go up to eat or anything. We literally just walked in to see those.
Look, I've always been okay with the Goblin outfit, but I've always acknowledged that with the mask particularly, we knowing that we have Defoe, we really could have done better with the. We could have. What I always wanted to do, what I'd like them to do, is like a variation on the Goblin armor and just like have purple like in the cracks of the thing, so you have the purple and the green represent. That's what I want, really. But yeah, I mean, it'd be wouldn't it be awesome though if you have like a mechanized kind of version of the Goblin mask so it actually moves with
Uh-huh.
him when he emotes and everything?
That would be cool. Yeah.
That'd be kind of yeah. But yeah, seriously, there's a pumpkin bomb on a bridge. Now here's the big. Oh, here's the cool part. Okay, now look here. Here's the Easter egg. Okay, you see this?
Yeah.
George Washington Bridge in the comics. That's where Gwen Stacy died.
Oh shit.
And the fact that Goblin's causing all this trouble on that bridge, I mean, it's I don't know, it's really appreciated in my book. I like it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just
Yeah.
like a throwaway thing. That's really cool. Okay, so now also a lot of this trouble's going on the bridge. I'm thinking there's like a converging attack that's going on there. You have the Goblin, and assumingly he's given this
Who
shot
is this
here.
woman, by the way?
It's
Do you
so
have
weird.
any theories at all?
Well, I
'Cause
think it's just
it bothers me just because she's so prominent in that shot.
well, I know what I think happens in this scene. I think it's going to be I don't know if she's a reporter or something. I think it's just going to be an interaction on the bridge where she like before all the action breaks out, she's maybe just going to call out him in the media hunt and everything. They're going to have like a moment talking about like I'm innocent. Like are you though? Or like something I don't know. It's like have another theory. I do have another theory. Okay, Michelle's mother.
Ah, yeah, I could see that. Sure,
My
sure.
instincts tell me random interaction, but you're right though. Given the
Yeah.
focus, could be
Like it's
MJ's mom.
weirdly in focus.
Yeah, it could be MJ's mom, and perhaps him weighing the options of again, if this does get set right, and could I possibly win her over? Maybe it's like maybe she calls out, "You're Spider-Man. That will never work," and of course that maybe give him
You
pause.
fool, that'll never work.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully, more artfully done, but yeah. But I mean, right now, again, my instinct is just maybe just casual passerby, like you're Spider-Man, aren't you? But
So Jedi Knight definitely seems to think that MJ dies in the movie. Jedi Knight, I'm not sure about that just because I feel like we've kind of gone down the Gwen Stacy dies road and
it would add consequence to the action though. It would give him something like we know why.
It would, yeah.
Like imagine this. Imagine if this is how you would earn.
Oh, Jedi Knight's joking. All right, I wasn't sure Jedi Knight.
I will throw this out there though. It might additionally. I'm not saying they necessarily should go this route, but if they did, it would also add legitimacy to the One More Day of it all. Where okay, if you're going to write MJ out, well, you have to go with the ultimate consequence. Where you got what you won. No one's going to remember, but you don't have to worry about MJ. She's dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's Okay, so I'm assuming, just given the looks like we're still on the same bridge, that they're all kind of coming at him here with possibly as part of the Sinister Six. Here's the big moment, folks. Oh, I know that tentacle. That's oh, Ock and the wonderful Alfred Molina. And I think he looks great. They did a little bit of Lola on him, but I think he looks great.
Like honestly with the de-aging, I think he looks even better than he did in Spider-Man
Well, you know what
2.
the trick is? They gave him a shirt this time. That's the
Uh
difference. That's
I
I
also
think that,
think I like his haircut as well.
yeah, it looks.
I
I
feel
just
like his haircut is a bit more comics accurate.
sure, yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, sure. I'm saying traditionally Doc Ock kind of has like a bowl cut, so I mean it's same pretty much anyway. But yeah, he looks great. Of course, I'm a huge advocate of Alfred Molina whenever he pops up in anything, but
Oh yeah.
particularly his performance in Spider-Man 2 is one of his best performances ever. And just like, there's so many great lines like I keep quoting Butterfingers to myself in
Butterfingers.
private. Every time I drop something, I keep thinking Butterfingers.
uh-huh.
But seriously, there's the whole like "I will not die a monster" is just such a powerful, is like such a powerful moment of acting. Is the fact that I love that when he pops up here with that smile on his face, there's a menace and there's the charm of Doc Ock the way he played, and you don't know because we don't know how we pull him out. If we pull him out from the water,
Yeah.
if this is from
Yeah.
a universe very similar to Spider-Man 2, like very negligible difference, or what? And he's just saying, "Hello, Peter." When he says that, it's like, is that like the friendly Doc Ock who's actually kind of grown to liking the Peter Parker, knowing what he knows, or is that I know who you are and I have my agenda and you're in my way? It's like,
Now go to the next shot. Okay, now Dragon, the fact that this shot happens so quickly, the fact
mm-hmm,
that we don't get him looking one on one at Doc Ock,
uh-huh.
like this feels like it's edited together, honestly.
And you know what the theory is, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
I know I love this theory, and I would love it to happen. Just the fact that it's most likely going to be he is talking to Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That's how you
Ah,
think about
that
how.
just gives me chills, man.
Because how would a Doc Ock from another universe, assuming just taking it at face value, just for argument's sake, if you took it at face value, it'd be a buy outside of him just having knowledge that he's been looking for him. He's probably you've seen him his face plastered all over the paper of this guy is Spider-Man. Outside of that, how would he necessarily know that this is his Peter Parker? Because he
Mhm.
knows Peter Parker for being Tobey Maguire.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's just round this out, and then we'll get it. I'll get into some of the last comments here.
Well, one thing I want to say, the last thing I have to say on the thing is just with this, the fact that regardless if the other Spider-Man is on the bridge or not, if Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is there, which I'm hoping for, but even if it's just at face value, I'm so jazzed out of my mind of the idea of the Iron Spider outfit, which we know has those giant metal gold, spider arms
Fighting
going
Doc
up
Ock.
against Doc Ock. It's
Uh,
so cool.
yeah,
What?
yeah,
That's
for
so.
sure.
I'm so excited. They gotta do that.
All right.
And that brings us to the end.
Okay, you can go ahead and stop your screen share.
Okay.
All right. I got it. Don't worry about it. All right.
Good.
Okay, so let's see. Just go over a few more comments here. Legit theory: Peter saves him from his Spider-Man 2 death in regards to Doc Ock. Yeah, I'd say that's very possible for sure. When Dr. Octopus says hello, Peter, I think he's talking to Toby Peter Parker.
Fingers crossed for Mello. Fingers crossed.
I like this idea. That guy says it would be really clever if they still gave the Raimi universe villains campy lines.
Well, I mean, with the Green Goblin, I imagine they gotta. Imagine if it was like, "Are you Peter Parker?" No, no one says no to me.
Oh God, that's funny. Didn't at the end of Spider-Man, Doc Ock like Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, in the movie, I really don't think there was a point where he ever disliked Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of like accidentally like he hit him in the origin scene, and it was just like they kind of tossed it up a little bit, but it wasn't really wasn't like egregiously. He didn't hate him. He got him so he could make the deal with Osborn for the tritium. That's really all there.
Yeah.
He was.
When do you think we'll get a new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer? Honestly, I hope this is it.
Well,
Honestly.
let's see. Well, no, because we're an antsy bunch and we're waiting a while just for a title on this movie, which we got a while back. I would say this was supposed.
I mean, the most realistic answer would be like around the time Eternals comes out, but like once that happens, it's like we've only got a month to wait. It's like I genuinely think that if another trailer comes out, I might not even watch it.
I'm just saying with the logic of they have to do 2 trailers so people know when to buy the tickets. I would say then sure Eternals. I mean, I guess yeah, but I'm saying the fact that I'm sure this was supposed to. Don't you wish this was just released with Shang-Chi though? Don't you kind of wish like they wouldn't have to get I'm not complaining that we got it finally, but it's just the fact of we were so close to Shang-Chi coming out, yet the premiere of the movie elsewhere is when we get it. We can't just wait till everyone can experience it. It's theatrically would have brought down the house. Oh man, we forgot. I forgot to focus on this. Let's just talk about Simon.
The black suit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the black suit. He's saying they say the black suit is going to be a special suit for Electro. That's a good point. You know what it's evocative of for me. So first of all, for anyone who's saying it's the symbiote, it's not the symbiote. Don't worry about that. It's not. Just to get that out there, because there's parts of yellow on it, very clear. Once you see it, you'll know it's not the symbiote. But the Electra thing's good. That makes sense. I assume we were taking a cue from the PS4 game, where at the end of that game you have a Doc Ock Buster suit. Like a kind of a suit that can contend with Doc Ock. Which I mean, the Electra thing makes more sense because you do need something to electrically insulate yourself from that guy. So maybe it makes more sense. You don't necessarily need it. I mean, he has the Iron Spider suit to fight Doc Ock. Why is he? Yeah, he doesn't need a Doc suit. Yeah, that's a good call, Gaijin.
Okay, let's see. So, what about the Spider-Man train scene? And then, let's see. Simeon says he didn't know it was Peter at that point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he didn't know it was Peter. And again, Spider-Man was a job. I mean, Spider-Man keeps stopping. He doesn't want to fight Spider-Man. Spider-Man keeps interrupting him, though.
That guy said we still need a probably bad poster.
Yeah, it's kind of the MCU trend where you just have a lot of posters that are just kind of thrown at you. They're very Photoshop.
Honestly, I think a good poster would just be the Doctor Strange push.
Yeah, I'd sign off on that. Yeah.
Let's see. When this film is released, would you guys be interested in doing another Spider-Man retrospective review or comedy? Well, I mean, we've done like multiple retrospectives, so honestly, I don't really.
I won't commit to anything here. I'm just saying we have kind of a rule of thumb about commentaries, but technically there is a commentary we could do, but I don't know if we're going to necessarily do it.
Which is it?
You want to know?
Yes.
Far From Home.
I mean, we could do that. Honestly.
It would be right
I wouldn't be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed.
I'm saying that's like it's when the first I believe when Infinity War came out, we did the only
is
two.
It on Disney Plus?
It will be, but I don't know if it's going to be there this year though. So yeah, that's the thing. So
if we have easy access to, I really wouldn't be opposed to that idea.
I have the Blu-ray,
been a while since I've revisited it.
That's the thing. So, I mean, I have the means. I don't know if it's going to be on Plus by then, though.
Let's see. And finally, Simeon says, "Man, I can't wait to see Matt Murdock in Spider-Man."
I want that so badly. I just want Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock is all. I just need to verify that those 3 years meant the great deal that they meant. Just I don't want to say like they don't matter and like say here's a new Daredevil. Like no, choose the good Daredevil.
Okay. All right, guys. So I think that's about it. Yeah, we want to see Tobey in his iconic Spider-Man 2 and 3 suit, but have John Romita. I don't know what the John Romita senior eyes are, Dragon.
Well, senior, I wonder if he means do we want to give him expressive eyes like we have?
Yeah, I don't even think we need that for Tobey, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a nice way to differentiate the suits, though. I mean, that's
what I'm saying. Yeah,
you want to show that each suit is different. So if we give them all the expressive eyes, it might kind of like it's like that's. I don't think it would.
I feel like the only reason we have the expressive eyes is because it's literally Stark tech, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like there was a logic to it, so
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, I think that will about cover it. So, really active night in the comments here. Really appreciate it. So. Gonna shout him out one more time. We have Jedi Knight. We have Simeon, who I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, by the way. We have Romello Malone, that guy. Casey popped in for a bit. Pink Pearl popped in for a bit. Cobra Dude popped in for a bit, but I honestly think I don't know. Wait, do you know who he is?
No, I'm just saying it's a name I don't recognize.
Cobra Dude. I honestly think it might have been like maybe a troll. I'm not sure, just because of this question.
Oh.
The mystery, and he asked it twice.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it was
It's a silly question. I don't know. If he's still watching, like by all means, it's a funny question. But anyways, okay. So just going down the list: Pink Pearl, Jedi Knight, Romello, that guy, Casey, Simeon. Yeah, that's about it. All right. Big thanks to y'all. You guys all rock and so on and so forth. Tune in tomorrow night for the Bad Batch recap with Casey, who is on this chat. So yeah, Casey's making his second appearance on the podcast tomorrow night with Bad Batch. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, have a good night, everyone.
Goodbye, Peter.
Goodbye, Peter. Pizza time.
Butterfinger.